Well, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, Sunflowers and Diamonds. I'm Jackie Williams, and I live in Kansas. And I don't know how to start this. First of all, I hope everyone is doing fine. I am doing good. It's been quite another week, but that's okay. That's what keeps us going, isn't it? All right. Sorry, but I need more light to see my diamond painting. Okay, so this is it. I'm working on the Last Supper. I have, let me see here. Hold on. Yeah, all of this got done from last week, Friday until Sunday. I just worked on it as much as I could. And then I moved over here, and this is where I'm at. Oh, why do I have this uncovered? Oh dear. Okay, let's put that back on. Sorry about that. I'm over here in this area, diamond painting. So let me see what number I'm on, what I'm doing. Okay, I'm doing the letter Y. Okay. So yes, oh my, it's been, like I said, quite a week. Weekend wasn't too bad. Trying to think. Saturday, I did some cleaning in my bedroom, and that's what I was hoping to get accomplished. I didn't get everything, but I did get what I wanted done. So that's a good thing. And then Sunday, I wasn't planning on it, but I had to mow our yard. And so I did that, and the rest of the time we just stayed at home. We didn't even go to the graduation party because we didn't know what the weather was going to be like. And the other thing was, my husband, I think I told you he has a hernia. Well, that is going to have to be fixed here on June 6th, which is a Friday. So yes, so like I said, we decided to just stay home. He wanted to rest because he knew he had to work. Well, we did have some weather Sunday, late afternoon. I should say it was late afternoon, early evening. And there were watches, there were warnings out. We just received rain, which is good because we was needing the rain. But there were towns, we call them towns, not cities, because out in western Kansas they're not as big. And I mean, we knew they had some watches and warnings out for in that part, but we didn't find out until Monday morning that the town of Grinnell, Kansas was hit by a tornado. And it was pretty bad. If you go on to my community posts, you will see I did post one picture. And they were without electricity and gas that supplies, your house or business. They were without, it was, put it this way, it was so bad they had to close I-70 going west. So I think it was right before Grinnell that they closed I-70, and then past, you had to, I think, detour. And it just so happened, I told my sister, because see, we go that way when we go to Colby to see the chiropractor. I said, well, it's a good thing we didn't have an appointment that Monday. because, we would have had to cancel. We wouldn't have been able to get out there. So they had closed I-70. You couldn't go that way. And they said it'd probably take all week, and it did. It wasn't until this morning that I seen that they reopened I-70 back up again. So that's how bad it was. Well, anyway, once I got to work, I heard more about, Grinnell being hit. And then Monday evening, I had called my brother because he knows some people out in Grinnell. And if you remember, back in November, my dad and my brother did a hog roast for the VFW out there. And I had donated that eagle picture. Well, anyway, as far as we had heard, was the west side of Grinnell was hit. But that doesn't always mean anything. They say that, but until you can go there and see for yourself, you just take everybody's word. That's what it was. But I did see some pictures, and even though I wasn't in Grinnell a very long time, and it was kind of evening when we went there back in November, I do remember some of those places, and they had gotten hit. But my understanding is that the VFW is okay. I don't think it was hurt. As far as nothing happened to it, which is good, because that's where all the volunteers meet up, and then they go and help, anybody who needs help. Well, then my sister, the one who's after me, she said she heard that, the Grinnell Catholic Church had lost its roof. And she said it lost its roof, and I guess you want to say it was a miracle, but all the candles in the church were still burning. And I know you'll probably say, well, they shouldn't have been in the first place, but you have to know how things are done if you're not Catholic. But it's okay. We won't touch on that. But I thought it was pretty interesting that the candles were still burning, considering the church had lost its roof. Well, then I ended up calling my brother Monday night because, like I said, he knows some people there in Grinnell, and so I just was calling to check to see if he had heard anything of anybody, that the people that he knew, if they were okay or whatever. Well, it turns out, because my dad sells seed, and when I say seed, I mean as in seed to farmers. Hold on a minute. Sorry. All of a sudden I got something poking me in my throat. Okay. So anyway, so there's a gentleman in Grinnell who is a seed dealer. So that means, if a farmer needs milo, sorghum, it's not wheat. You do sell wheat seed, but the wheat is planted, so it's other things, corn, rye, whatever. Anyway, so, he said the dealer that lives there in Quinter, pray for me, in Grinnell, lost his house, unfortunately. And it just so happened to be his mom's house. So that means probably when she passed away, he got his mom's house. And that's where, I think he's married, I'm not sure. But that's where he, for sure, lived, was in his mom's house. And he lost it. Like, oh my goodness. So, anyway, and I know Midwest Energy, that's the one that where we get our electricity from, was out there all week working, trying to get everybody restored with electricity and gas. So yeah. And then I checked Facebook here just before I came on, and there's a lot of the surrounding communities are coming together to help Grinnell out. So that's pretty amazing in itself. Which that's what we do. We help each other out because that's what small farming communities do. And I guess people were finding things so they would take it to the VFW, and that way, if anybody lost anything, you could go to the VFW to see if you can find anything of yours. So, yeah, that I feel so sorry for them because it's a scary feeling when a tornado comes. Okay, hold on. Let me find my next thing here and I'll continue. And I know Star said she was kind of wondering if I was okay. And yes, like I said, we just got like the tail end, I think, of the storms, which is good because I don't want any storm really. Because like I said, when they mention tornadoes, it is a scary thing because you just never know what a tornado's gonna do. And my goodness, it wiped out pretty much the whole town of Grinnell. They're gonna have to rebuild back up again, which they will. They'll come together. So, yep. And let's see. So that happened Monday. I think it was Wednesday. It was very windy here. It was like, goodness. So, yep. We did have a kind of a small, not a storm, just some rain Wednesday evening. So, which is always good. And I did finally take pictures of a wheat field or two, so I'll have to post that to my community tab so you guys can see the wheat fields. So, and then Thursday I worked in the morning and I had off in the afternoon. My husband had 2 doctor's appointments, so I went with him on that. The first one was to the dermatologist, the skin doctor, because he had a spot on the top of his head I wanted them to check on. Luckily, it's nothing. They said it's benign, so that's a good thing. Then we had to go to the doctor that takes care if you have a hernia. And my husband does have well, he had 2 of them. They were fixed, and the one came back, it kind of like bulged out. Well, we had to have that CT scan done to make sure, and that way, the doctor, he can see better, I guess, on a CT scan. So he showed us, and actually he has 3 hernias that will need to be fixed. And that will get done on Friday, June the 6th. So, yep. And then he's going to take, for sure, 1 week off. And then towards the end of the week, he'll decide if he wants to stay home another week or not. But the doctor said he can go back to work like the next day. But luckily, this will be done on a Friday, so if he wanted to, he could just go back on Monday, but he's going to take that week. And the surgery is going to be done with a robotic thing. So, I need my fan on. Whew. It's warm in here. It's been nice all this week. Temperature only in the 70s or 80s. Today it was only, I think, 75. So, yep. And it was windy, but not as windy as it has been. So that's a good thing. So, yep. He'll have those 3 done. He has, it's the left side, the right side, and then we found out he has one by his belly button that needs to be taken care of. So I told him, I said, let's just get it done and over with so you can heal up and, you know, everything will then be good to go. So I guess hernia surgeries have come kind of like have come a long way, because when he had had them done back in 2012 and 2014, they pretty much cut you open. Here it's, you know, done with a robotic thing, and it's really not that they cut you open. I don't know. If you want to know, you can Google it on YouTube, he said, and you can watch it. So that's all I'll say. I'll let that up to you. You can decide what you want to do. So, yep, 32. Up there we go, 32. I didn't know if he would end up having to have it like this coming week. But, you know, with Memorial Day being Monday and everything, so I'm kind of glad it's in 2 weeks. And I'll take off because I got to drive him to the hospital and bring him home. And then actually, the doctor said he's supposed to start walking. And it's not like he has to, you know, do a full walk or, you know, a strenuous walk. We did find some guy on YouTube who's like a health coach, and he had hernia surgery done. And so he said what he did, he just walked inside his house at first, and then as he could, he increased his walking. So he says, your body will tell you when you're ready to, you know, to increase. And so, like I told my husband, you can walk on the inside of the house, or you can go outside, walk around the house. We have a sidewalk out front. I said you can walk there because I'll be home Friday, so, you know, I can keep an eye on him. And Saturday and Sunday, he can do it. So I said, just start out small. I said, just take baby steps. I said, that's what you got to do. So, yep. Okay, I need some more wax. Oh, here's some thing. Oh, and last night, Sherry and Star had their Thankful Thursday, and so while they were chit-chatting, and that's how I worked on mine last supper here, I thought, oh, since, like I said, I've been trying to either diamond paint in the morning or in the evening. In the morning, because I'm up so early, I just come over here and just do for a little bit. I figure if I can just get a little bit, that's a little bit I didn't have, you know, before. So that's how I do it. I figured I can just do that a little bit. If it's even 5 minutes, you know, that's 5 minutes I didn't have. So trying to think. I think I sat outside one time this week because it was so nice. I mean, it can be windy during the day, but once the sun starts setting, most times the wind dies down. So it's like, oh, I want to go outside just for a little bit if I can. So you just need that. So, anyway. Does anybody have plans for Memorial Day weekend? We do not. We don't. I mean, for right now, we don't. Things can always change. He did say he may go fishing. I haven't decided if I'm going to go with him or not. Because it is supposed to rain this weekend, too. So, those people who go to the lakes here in Kansas, they may be a little sad because that's the whole thing about Memorial Day weekend. They like to go to the lake and take their boats and their jet skis and their skis and get out on the lake. And if it's raining, they won't be able to do that too much. So we'll see. And I noticed the campground over here. We went and drove around last night, and it was pretty busy, which is good. Well, and here in Ella's, they do their class reunions over Memorial Day weekend. And then there are other schools, they do theirs in the fall when they have homecoming. So, it's, I guess, whatever they want to do. But I thought it was kind of strange because I come from a school where we did it in the fall at homecoming time. And here, like I said, they do it Memorial Day weekend. So the town's pretty busy this weekend. I'm not too far from the golf course, and tonight they have a live band over there. Surprisingly, it's not really all that loud, but they do have a good attendance. How do I say? It's just down the little ways is a street. And the street has a lot of vehicles parked. So, yep, like I said, they have a good turnout. And I'm not sure, they usually have a parade on Saturday. And sometimes they do come down our street here. And then they do go over because the nursing home it's just real close here. So they come down our street so then they can turn and go down the street where the nursing home is on, because then they can sometimes they take the residents and set them outside so they can see the parade, which is really nice, I think. So that's a good thing about living in a small town like this. You do get some things where the big towns do not. And it was funny because the first time after I was living here, and that's 25 years ago, oh my gosh, I've been in this house for 25 years already. And I found out that the parade went down our street. It's like, oh my gosh, how lucky am I that I live here where, the parade can go down my street. So that's pretty awesome. And then when fair time is, which is in July, they usually have a parade then too. So there were times it comes down the street too. And one time I had my nephews and they came down our street, and it was funny because they had a big old John Deere tractor. Yeah, those big tractors, if you've ever seen them, they're big and trying to come down a narrow street, and there's cars parked on the street too. It was like, yeah, you didn't think that one through too much, did you? So, but it's okay. He got through. He just had to take his time and maneuver it different ways to get through. So, oh goodness. My day is catching up with me, guys. So I don't know how long my WIP and Chat will be. I gotta sit here for a while because I want to get some done. It's gonna look good, I think. I'm really excited to get this accomplished, finished, to see how it turns out. Let's go with the S. Okay, let's see. Where's this? Okay, 24. 25. Oh, I did pretty good. There we go. Big bag of 24. I'm going to say there are a lot of diamond painters out there. I mean, Star, Sherry, or KYA Philly, Sherry. They all do unboxings and they show their diamond paints. Man, you guys have some beautiful ones. It's just so surprising. They are. They're just so beautiful. And I have the Diamond Art Club app. So like tomorrow morning at 11 they'll release, so many new ones. And this week they've had some that were out of stock and they brought them back. So I've seen some of them, and they have 3 new ones for Memorial Day. Oh, it's like, oh man, wish I had a little extra money. I would be purchasing them for sure, because they are pretty. So maybe one day. And then I happened to watch Sherry's video because she has a she shed. I think it's a smaller house, but she's going to turn it into a she shed. And she was showing her diamond paintings. It's like, I thought I had a lot. Now, Sherry, you have a lot, girl. Oh my goodness. Oh, I just loved it though, to see. I don't feel so bad. My little room here, it's out of sorts, and you was out of sorts. You're she shed, but that's okay. I mean, sometimes we got to do what we got to do. But like I said, I thought I had a lot, but I don't. You have lots more than I do. But like I said, that's okay. You should be very proud that you can have all those. And it's funny. I'm surprised my husband didn't say something, because he was in here the other night. I have these containers, and we used to store our shoes in there. Now we don't. Don't ask why. I couldn't tell you. Anyway, he came in here, I guess, looking for some older shoes. And I have some diamond paint boxes standing right here in front. He had to move them to get into those containers. I came in later after he did, and I thought, oh my goodness, he didn't say nothing. I thought, all right. It's not like he can say a whole lot, because he has a lot more fishing tackle than I do. When I mean fishing tackle, I mean fishing lures. He has, just let's say he has oodles and oodles and oodles. So, yeah. Okay, let's do 3 here. Get that out of the way. Well, gosh, dogs. I just seen something. What did I do? 29. Okay, I gotta get that one back out. I have a diamond that jump ship or stayed in the boat. It didn't want to jump ship. Well, gosh, doggies. Okay. And school ended today in Hayes. Today was the last day, and I think they got out at 11 o'clock. And Sunday was graduation for at least Hayes High. I don't know. I think maybe T&P is this weekend. I'm not sure when they have theirs anymore. So it's going to be nice driving in Hayes because you won't have near as much traffic. I mean, we'll have some, but not as bad because school is out. So, yeah, it'll be nice. And then I also found out on June 14th, which is, I think, the second weekend in June, there's going to be a car showing in Hayes. People who restore, their older vehicles. I like to be able to take my dad, but I don't know. Gary and I went to it last year. It was really cool. So I'll have to see. I did send my nephew a message and asked if he was attending. He said he didn't think so. I said, okay, I just thought I'd ask. Because he restored, I think it was a 1980-something pickup. It looks pretty sharp. I remember when Justin, he's the oldest, I had him one time over here during the summer, and there was a parade, and there was older vehicles, coming down, because they're in the parade. And I told him, because he was little, I said, when you get bigger, you and I need to fix up a car and enter it in the parade. And he goes, okay. Oh, those were fun times, let me tell you. And I remember when my brother was probably middle school age, him and I would go in the Hayes and go to some car shows, and that's probably like the one that is going to be coming up. That's probably the one we attended back when, and it was always at the American Legion, because the American Legion, there was a big, not a field, but it was an open lot, and so they would come and park their vehicles there so you could walk around and look at them and everything. It was really cool. So I like looking at those older vehicles. They're just so awesome, like the T-Birds. That's mine. I think they are just so cool. My husband would say, no, Chevy. I said, no, Ford. So, yep, we don't agree on the same vehicle. Even though I did drive a Chevy vehicle. But that wasn't my choice. It's just, it had to be. But luckily, last year I was able to get my Ford back. So, I'm a happy woman. I got something itching. Oh, goodness. There we go. I got another section done of the threes. And I see I got a Y and some T's. So let me get those. And then, guess what? I'll be able to move over to this other section. Wow. It's going good, guys. I think a little doggy hair, because it looked black and white. And the only one who has black and white hair is Snoopy, not Jackie. I mean, I have a little gray, but not that much yet. I know it's coming, but Oh. Okay, let's see here. 3. Let's see, there's some T's. Let's get the T's. That's 25, 27, 26, 25. That's a dark color too. A lot of dark colors in this one. This little area. In a way, I'm tempted to go and do Jesus because it's red. He has red and blue on it. Oh, goodness. But I won't. I'll wait until I get there. Yeah, and when he has his hernia surgery on that Friday, I don't know if I'll end up doing a WIP and Chat or I just may postpone it for that day or for that, that weekend actually. So I'll just give you a heads up now. I'll try, but I'm not going to promise anything. I know what I'm going to ask. Can anybody tell me, in simple terminology, how do I go about adding music to the beginning of my video for like an introduction? And I mean, it's got to be pretty simple and it explains itself very easily because right now, just with everything going on, I mean, I'm not saying I do it right away, but I just was curious. Oh, why? 29 again. I found some whys. What am I doing here? I need to pay attention. I thought it'd be nice to do that, but like I said, I did Google it. I kind of read through it, but I need to go back and I just thought because there's quite a few of you who have your own channels and you have music and you have, I don't know, you have it all. Just put it that way. And to me, it looks really nice. You guys all did an awesome job. So kudos to you. Give yourself a pat on the back if your WIP and Chats or your unboxings have music to them, I guess is what I want to say. Because I bet it's not easy to do. But then again, I could be wrong. It may be easier than I would think. I would like to learn to do a little bit more. I'm not going to worry about editing. I'm sorry. To me, it's what to me it's what you see is what you get. And I don't know, why do you want to edit and take all that stuff out? Who cares? That's you. They say you want to be you, so just leave it in there. It's okay. Because I'm sure last week you seen my husband standing there starting to talk to me. It's like, what are you doing? I told you I was going to be making a video. So, I don't know how to edit. But like I said, to me, that's the video. You have to be you. And sometimes there are going to be things that, like I said, he pops in. You're going to probably see from his chest down. I don't know. I just got to always make sure he has his shorts like this. Or we could be like Star and say, oh my, or oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, that's number 1. So I got to put that in there. But like I said, everybody has their own thing. And if you like to edit and take things out, that's fine. But like I said, to me, that's you. I mean, don't change things. just like with people being such bullies and saying such nasty things. Because I just recently joined TikTok, and there's been stuff on there. It's like, seriously, people, why would you be so mean to other individuals? And to me, you know what that means? You're just jealous that they're doing it and you're not. Well, all you gotta do is hit the record button on the video part, and you can tape yourself. And then you can share yourself out with the world. That's all you gotta do. I mean, that's what I had to do if I wanted to do it. And the first time I did it, I was on Facebook, and I did it for my doTERRA essential oils. It was very scary, but I got used to it. So I thought, well, if I could do that, I surely can do a YouTube video. So, yep, that's why I did these WIP and Chats. And I can't believe I'm going to be a year already on YouTube. It was, I think, June 1st of last year. So, it's like, my goodness, where did the time go? Okay, is this 7? No, this is 27. What was 27? V. Yes, there was a V. Oh, here. Okay. One little one fell out, so that's good. All right. And I see an 8. So let me get that. Oh, how am I doing on time? Okay, I'm good. Let's see, what else? There's not much else. I could read trivia. Oh, I forgot my prayer card. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. I forgot my prayer card. I will dig it out and I will take a picture so it's my cover for my, like my introduction just without music. So, okay, what was I doing, Jackie? Can't be doing that. Oh, here, 7. That's what I was doing. I want the number 7, 6, and 7. Okay. And then I think this is completed. All right. Let me make sure here. Let me get this one done. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I only need one of you little diamonds right there. Okay. Oh, no, 8. I gotta get an 8. One good thing this is 7, because then I can pull 8 out. Okay, right there's 8. Trying to think, is there anything else I want me to share with you? I don't think so. I think I covered it all. I only needed one, and more than one jumped out at. So, okay, where did you go? 8? Oh, yeah, right here. There we go. Okay, let me scan this. Oops. Yeah, it's okay. Oops. Let me... Where's my little straightener here? There we go. There. Awesome. And I'm going to try and diamond paint, hopefully, at least 1 hour each day, because, you know, we have Memorial Day and Sunday, so hopefully I can do a little more than an hour on those 2 days, but we'll see. And I think I'm going to end my WIP and Chat. So, yep, let me snap this on. There we go. And you can see now I have all of this and all of this now. Just gotta keep this part pressed down. So yeah, it's looking good. I got this section done. I am tickled pink with myself. hold on here. There's a diamond that's just kind of, I don't know. He has a mind of his own, I guess. I have to kind of run the straightener through these. And here's another one jumping out. Don't be jumping out, boys and girls. There, that looks better. Alright, so let me just real quick take a look, a gander. Well, that's this section. This is all on the bottom, so it's like the floor and part of the table legs. Because this was, I think, a table leg here. This will be, so yeah. This is still a lot of dark colors, but that's okay. It feels good to know that I got this much of it accomplished. And I think last week I said, do you think I will finish this in time for next year for the auction? And a lot of you said yes. I agree. I do too. I believe I will. All right, guys. Let me bring you up. Whoa. Oh, let me put my other set of two eyes on so I can see you and I don't shock you without my glasses. I know I did used to wear contacts, but it got to the point I was having trouble putting them in. My hands shake too much, so it's like, you know what? It's time to go back to glasses. So it's all good. So with that being said, I'm going to say goodnight because it's actually Friday evening, but this will be posted for Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I will be here next week for my WIP and Chat. It will be the following week where I don't know. So if anything, if you would just keep my husband in your prayers, I would appreciate it. That everything, if you pray that everything goes good for him. He's kind of worrying about, which I don't blame him. But the doctor said he thinks it's going to go really, really good. And he'd rather do the robotics than him cutting into Gary, my husband, so, which is a good thing, I think. So, all right, guys. Good night. Have a fabulous weekend and Memorial Day. Please remember why we have Memorial Day. It's because of all those who served. Because without them fighting and keeping us safe, who knows where we would be. So, all right, I'm going to say bye. I love you all. And we'll see you next week, okay? And you notice I have pink on. If you don't know by now, I'm sorry. I love pink. All right, we'll see ya.